Hi, this is Cassia over at First Call Digital Agency, and today we're going to be talking about branding and rebranding strategies for your small business. We're calling this series Digital Fit Tips to help your business get into shape. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe down below, and if you're an existing client, you can either reach out to us on firstcall-web.com or you can leave a comment below and we'll get in touch. You might be wondering, why is branding important? A lot of companies get by with just creating a logo and maybe having the web designer set some color palettes on their website. But branding is so much more than that. It really is the way that you interact with and link up with your clients in a way where they can build trust and recognition with your company. So branding can entail a whole lot of different things that a lot of small businesses don't really think about. Aside from the logo and color palette, there's also things like typography, as well as visual elements, trust elements, and mood elements. These visual elements help set an emotional tie for people visiting your website or your social platforms so that they can relate to your company on a different level than if it was all scattered and all over the place and not really consistent. Another piece that's really essential that people forget about with their branding is messaging. So you want to make sure that you have a clear core message and tagline, as well as value proposition that backs up really what you're doing and why you're doing it. And this applies to all sorts of different companies that a lot of people don't think about. Even in contracting and other types of industries, you can still develop a clear message that your customers can relate to. So we talked about a couple reasons why branding matters, including building brand recognition and customer loyalty, but a few other opportunities that lie in the future with developing a clear brand strategy includes franchise opportunities if you ever want to open up another location, or in other instances, if you're considering selling your business down the line, having a clearly defined brand guide or brand book adds the value for the buyer when they're considering purchasing your company. And the final one is when you are working with a marketing agency, having clearly defined brand guide helps you have more power and control if you decide to switch over to another marketing agency. So you have all of those details outlined, and you can hand these over to smaller vendors such as social media management. If you need graphics made, if you're working with a video editor, you can use a brand guide to help set clear standards for what visually you're trying to convey to your clients. If you're curious about how to create a brand guide or want to know more about what that looks like, you can go ahead and click in the link below, and we have an article that'll help explain some of those details. So when should a business consider rebranding? Aside from the obvious one where there's been a controversy and you may want to kind of push the old brand in the background, there's a few other reasons why you might want to consider rebranding, including changing your services or products, and you want to have a fresh look to reflect that. Another reason is changing ownership might be a good opportunity to do a rebrand. And the final one is if you have a change in your target audience. As businesses grow, products or services change, you may want to redefine who you're going after, and they might have different mood elements or visual appeal or messaging that will target them better. And this is common as companies mature to want to redefine who they're going after and what will work best for them. So how do you do a rebrand? Let's start with number one. Strategy, strategy, strategy. You really want to take time to work with your team or your marketing agency and define what elements need to be updated and what that's going to look like and who's going to be responsible for what. Number two, as I was saying before, that buyer persona is so essential, and you really want to make sure you have that pinned down so that you can get all of those elements in place to really call out to and appeal to that very specific buyer persona. Number three, get all of your elements in place. So if you've decided that you need to be targeting a different buyer persona, maybe they have a different visual appeal or different messaging, go ahead and build out those new graphics, decide on the changes in typography, and start getting all of those elements in place. Number four, brand book rebuild. Now that you have your buyer persona clearly defined, you've got all those elements, everybody's on the same page and in agreement on messaging, you can go ahead and rebuild that brand book. And that is going to be the standard you use across all of your vendors and platforms that helps make your brand very clear and relatable. Number five, Updates. Now it's time to take that brand book and apply it everywhere you're represented online. This includes your website as well as social media platforms, email templates, print materials. Go ahead and take all of those new elements and get them applied. Number 6, communicate. Don't leave your existing clients in the dark as far as changing up your logo. We want them to know that this is a good move, that this is you growing as a company and pushing for, a new development and a fresh look. So we covered quite a few things. Basically, what is branding and when you need to move into a rebrand, and why it's important for your company to get all of these things in place. It helps support all of your vendors and any companies you might be working with, just to make sure everyone is on the same page. It also really helps build that trust and recognition, that know-like trust with your clientele. Branding can sound simple, but it can be a complicated process to try and work through. So if your business is looking at getting a brand strategy in place and you need a little support, you can reach out to us by visiting our website at firstcall-web.com. We offer a total online presence audit that could really help get you a perspective on where your business stands right now online. In the meantime, if you happen to have any simple questions that you want to shoot our way, just go ahead and comment below and we will reply. Well, I hope you guys found this helpful. My name is Cassia Spurlock. I'm the Digital Marketing Director over at First Call, and I look forward to seeing you at our next Digital Fit Tip. In the meantime, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.